I'm just going to pass it over to Sanal and he'll just close out with the last talk of today's event.
Hello, guys. So I hope everyone is having a good time and everyone had good things to take away from today's event. And yesterday was also an amazing day. And I hope we can get the recording rolled out as the days. And I just want to add in something that complements with things that we have already been speaking about. So something in relation to breath that I want to add in is usually our vagus nerve plays a key role in letting the brain know that everything is okay. The physiological activities just can calm down, like the breathing can, the heartbeat can just slow down. But the thing is, we actually have a different nerve that has a way more direct access to let this signal reach the brain and let the heart know you can slow down. Now that is phrenic nerve. Now this is phrenic nerve is found on the subcortical region of the brain. Now this is something all mammals incorporate in order to relieve themselves of stress. So the proper way to breathe for that is called proper sigh or double sigh. So you are just taking a deep inhale, like, and then you are taking on top of it. So that's the double sigh part, so you do, and then you breathe out through the mouth really slowly. So the phrenic nerve is responsible for sending signals to the diaphragm for making all sort of motor movements to make breathing possible. So when you do a breathing like this, the thing is vagus nerve, it just has a more slower pathway to reach the brain. It's just the word literally came from the word vagabond. It's just all over the place. So it doesn't really have such a direct access to the system and reach signal that effectively. So once you tap into the phrenic nerve and activate it by doing a double sigh or proper sigh, like this doing a 3 or 4 breaths like that, that immediately let the system know that everything is all right. The system is in harmony. The thing is, all emotional states that we experience has in a different way of looking at it is everything has a particular gas combination to it. There's there's a certain mix of carbon dioxide to oxygen ratio to it that goes with happiness, that goes with joy, that goes with peace, that goes with calmness, relaxation, nervousness, anxiety, sadness. It goes with everything, anger, all of it. All sympathetic states and all parasympathetic states has a certain gas combination associated to it. So usually all of the positive parasympathetic states that we do that creates holistic well-being within us, that has more oxygen than carbon dioxide to it. Once you take a breathing like this, it allows to harmonize and bring that gas combination ratio in place, reaches homeostasis in a way. So this is, and also an easy way to transition from doing 4 of these double sigh breaths is by just simply dropping the jaws and relaxing the back of the tongue. Dropping the jaws is the easiest way to stimulate the vagus. Just dropping it, not like really using force, but just really letting it drop. Letting it drop and the back of the mouth, like the back, not below, but the back of the tongue. It also promotes parasympathetic activation. So that's nice. And then you can go on with an 1:2 breathing. That is like you breathe in, let's just say 3-second inhale, then you're breathing out a 6-second exhale. And you're breathing out through the mouth specifically because when you're breathing out through the mouth, the kinesthetic aspect of it, the sensation on the mouth actually stimulates way more areas of the brain than otherwise. So it's nice to breathe in through the nose and breathe out through the mouth as you're doing this exercise. And then you can you just bring in more spacious awareness. That's what something you can transition. The thing is, the neuroscience data, like research, now proves that we as human beings, the way our system is supposed to function, we are supposed to spend 80 to 90% of the time in peripheral vision as opposed to in convergent vision, which is focused vision. And we end up, our habits that we daily have ends up being one with, most of the time we are in convergent vision, we are focused on one thing or another. Very seldom we do pay attention to the space between objects and let the attention rest on that rather than simply paying attention to the object. So developing, cultivating a capacity to be able to pay attention to the space around you, which will naturally bring about peripheral vision, which activates parasympathetic. And it is also, it lets your system know everything is safe, because the only time you would you let yourself activate your peripheral vision is when things are safe and calm and everything is okay. And whenever you are in convergent vision is when you need to be in a state of watch out. The thing is, our brain functions in such a primitive way. The thing is, the reptilian part of the brain, once it got, it's like an operating system that got installed in, but it never got updated ever since then. And it still functions the same way. So when we are on convergent vision, it still has the same millennia old, the genetic information where, oh my God, I'm on a state of watch out, be on alert. But it has nothing to do with it. But I guess the mobile phone and everything adds into the whole stuff. And or in relation to the authenticity, there is something else I want to bring in here. The thing is, self-esteem and self-worth, these are stuff that people find lacking most often in our society. And the real reason is that our brain evolved to function not independently, but interdependence is the key. The point is it evolved with a tribal psychology. It evolved to function within a tribe. And within a tribe, the way that you are needed, you're valuable, is knowing how you are showing up, and not just for yourself, but for people beside yourself. And now that adds in meaning to life, because responsibility and meaningfulness has a correlation. With more responsibility, life becomes even more meaningful. So that's why people who have a bad relationship with responsibility and they stay away from it later on find their life increasingly meaningless. So you never want to be shying away from responsibility in that sense. So that's the thing with the tribe too. So these people, when the going gets tough, the tough gets going. The reason is, who are you showing up for beside yourself? If it's just all about you, like when going gets tough, it's really hard. But when you know, oh my God, not just about me. I'm not just showing up for me. It's not just about me. That gives you a strength, a courage that goes beyond when you're tending to just individual selfish needs. That's the thing. So know that we are not a global citizen. The brain didn't evolve to function in a global society or a national society or a country or none of this stuff. It's just evolved function within a small tribe. And tribe is people who are important to you, people who face to face or like eye to eye, and you know what's going on in their life and they know what's going on in your life on some level. If they know, if that's not happening, that's not tribe. There is a certain priority given to the members in the tribe. That's what makes them tribe. If it's not a priority, then you're not their tribe and they are not your tribe. If you say, oh, I don't have time, everyone have same time. It's about allocating time based on what you value is important to you in life. You see? So the thing is, you don't have to just buy into a tribe. It can be a beautiful process of building one tribe. So you can create your own tribe. You can choose. It can be a beautiful process. The thing is, otherwise we end up comparing a lot of stuff. Am I doing enough? Or and comparing to random people in random places that has absolutely nothing to do with your life. And you make consideration, no, you have to look at, am I showing up in a way that fulfills my purpose within the tribe? Am I showing up for these people? Am I meeting that? That's the point. It's not about, okay, or some, when you just don't know your tribe, then you just have to randomly make considerations and comparisons, and that's one of the reason people end up feeling really short in life, because they're just comparing to completely people they are not in your tribe. It's just, so that's something that I would like to add, and I guess we are in a good place. Yeah, and I don't know. I say everything was beautiful, guys. There was a lot of things to take away. I love that 36 pieces, 36 breaths. I love the joy. I'm all about neurotransmitters at the same time. So I do appreciate the autobiographic self, the stories, the words, the concepts, the role they play in the stuff in the mix. And also the, as far as the Jungian coach we have here, there's one way of looking at things. It's all just models of looking at things at best. So we can look at the model of the conscious unconscious. I'm a hypnotist myself for 14 years of my life. So I'm very familiar with the conscious unconscious model. But there's a different way for us to share with a layman, which I would, if you find useful, you can adopt it. So the model is looking at things like you can either live life mindfully or you can live your life rules governed. And a lot of people live their life rules governed. They have a lot of rules, personal rules by which they live life. And why they have rules is that they can live life unconsciously. Because you once you have rules, you don't have to think, you don't really have to be conscious, you just can just follow the rules. So just once you live mindfully, you don't really need so much rules, because Karen was telling, it's the embodiment piece, because the body will tell you, does it feel good or not? Just like when you're eating food and there's a certain moment when the body is filled, but you just follow the rules. Oh, I have to finish the food on the plate. Don't waste the food. People suffering in the world. Yeah. So all different rules like that got stuck into us. So we just finish and then we just don't really feel that good. That there's a certain sweet spot where the lightness is still there and the heaviness is not, just haven't just you know gotten took you over. But after that point, now it's the heaviness. It's just a subtlety stuff. You just have to respect the body's, what body says. Okay, it's full. I guess we don't really have to depend on what dopamine at this point. Find something to be curious about. Curiosity, now, that's a beautiful thing, is completely correlated with the state of dopamine, meaning brain rewards an individual for simply being curious. See, find things to be curious about. Be curious about yourself, curious about the world around you. Be less full of certainties and more full of curiosity and open to possibilities. Yeah.